Last summer, I toured Entertainment Junction and posted this video to my YouTube channel like so many others. However, this one was different. It was also an announcement. The former world's largest indoor train display was set to close forever. At the time, many held out hope for a last-minute buyer. After all, it wasn't as if people wanted this place to disappear. Like many of my videos, I expected this news to reach a few hundred people at best and then fade into obscurity. However, that is not quite what happened. Instead, over 72,000 people from around the world tuned in to hear about the closure of the world's largest train display. However, as I know now, their sign was not actually correct. I honestly had no idea how vast and devoted the model railroading community really was. But it was an honor to have stumbled into it before everything had disappeared. Today, many months later, I am following up on this story. So a few months ago, I released a video called Entertainment Junction, World's Largest Train Display Closing Forever. And now, that closing date has finally come. It is now January 2nd, and the official close date of Entertainment Junction is on January 5. Unfortunately, no one was willing to wind up buying it, and it's all going into a sale coming up pretty soon here. The sale will run from January 11th to January the 26th, where they are selling out all of their assets. The building has already found a new tenant, so this will all very much be gone by the time this episode airs. But I just thought I'd like to take one last walk through and just kind of answer some questions for people who are wondering what the fate of Entertainment Junction would be. In the end, it was subject to a full liquidation sale. Everything had to go. From the model trains, the office furniture, to gift shop fixtures, nothing was spared. Walking through the empty space, even the shelving was gone, and that was very eerie. It was truly a very sad sight for something that once brought people so much joy. As for the models and the trains themselves, not all will be broken up and lost to private collections. A company called Firecrown, whose various departments span sailing, aviation, model railroading, and magazine publishing, purchased several of these displays. They plan to move them into storage in Chattanooga, Tennessee, with the long-term goal of using them for a future train or transportation-themed attraction. The exact nature of that attraction seems to differ depending on the source. Regardless of these exact plans, the assets will be going away for a while. Several articles speculate that this new attraction will open by early 2026. However, as of the making this video, not a single new article has mentioned the new train-themed attraction in Chattanooga since Entertainment Junction's closing in January. One source also mentioned that a church purchased a large number of displays, while another claims that the church only purchased the funhouse portion. So at the very least, much of what had been on display at Entertainment Junction will be available to the public once again. Well, at least someday. Not that anyone had a basement big enough to store all this stuff anyway. But Entertainment Junction was more than just the models. This attraction was part of the community for 16 years, ever since it opened in 2008. Many people worked there for a very long time and built lasting memories. And one of the saddest things about the closure of Entertainment Junction is they're even saying goodbye to Mrs. Claus.
Yes, I'm very sad to see Entertainment close. It's been a part of my life for 16 years. And I hate to see it go.
The sad truth is, Entertainment Junction chose its first week of January for its final day for a reason. Christmas was always a very special time here. Each year, they hosted a Christmas village featuring Mrs. Claus, reindeer, and of course, Santa. And holiday-themed train displays were also a popular attraction as well. Although they weren't quite as large as the room-sized models that people were used to here, they're also a very charming addition that helped light up the Christmas season at Entertainment Junction. Normally, this room was home to a marble display, not noteworthy enough to have actually been included in my original video, but during the holidays it really came alive. Christmas music played throughout the space, adding to the atmosphere. Also, I have to mention that the nearby Kings Island Eiffel Tower replica looked pretty cute being lit up for the holidays. I'm curious as to where the Christmas stuff all wound up. This stuff was a lot smaller than the actual formal displays and very well could have ended up at the liquidation sale. After all, it never snows in Chattanooga, except when I'm there apparently, when I was lucky enough to get a year's worth of snow in a single day. There was also a funhouse section I hadn't had the chance to explore during my original visit. So there is also a funhouse here at Entertainment Junction. I don't really have time for that today. Maybe one of you could check it out for me and tell me how it is. And this time I did actually get to go through it. Funny thing is, a lot of these things were things that I had already seen at the Illusion Museum in Pittsburgh. That was a previous episode. I definitely went a lot more in depth there because I just had a lot more room and it wasn't nearly as crowded. But I mean, pretty much anything that I saw in there are things that I could show, that you could just see by watching that video. So I'd highly recommend you check that out if you're just kind of curious about it. But I mean, I did take a few clips. And honestly, it was bigger than I expected, with mazes, mirrors, and interactive rooms. If you'd visited before and skipped past this part, you really didn't miss that much. Still, I couldn't help but wonder, who's going to buy all this stuff once this place closes? All those red and white ribbons might make some very eclectic wallpaper for someone's garage, assuming churches didn't take the whole funhouse as it was. But anyway, for the world's largest train display, or as it was formerly, I now know based on all the comments that I got on my previous video, it has actually lost its title to Wonderland a very long time ago by this point. But it's still up on the sign, which is why I guess I still call it that, but it's definitely not going to be anymore. But anyway, it is 37 degrees. I am out here in a t-shirt that just matched the one I did from this summer, so it's time for me to go. And for one last time, from Entertainment Junction, the quote-unquote world's largest train display, this is goodbye.